Oh, I don't know if I like the beeping lasting longer than the music. It kind of kills my vibe. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's like do beep, beep, beep.
I think that's me and you to stop messing around and put your phones down and
Yeah.
be
Pay
prepared.
attention, you're going live. Good morning. Welcome to Ask the Accountant, your weekly live show with all the news and insights from the industry. As per usual, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. Aaron Patrick. Aaron, how are you? And how was last week?
Last week was very good, actually. Very, very good. Tiring, but good. And a good weekend. I actually chilled out a bit. Did a bit of work, but also chilled out. Went to the charity match. Me and Ash went down there, down to London to go watch a game that ended 9-9, I believe it was. Penalties at the end. So, really close-knit game. You know, when it's really tight and you think, quality's on show, so we get to see. I don't think I've ever seen Ash so disappointed in the spectacle in all my life. He was just sat there like, what is this rubbish? What is this rubbish? But no, it was good to see charity and all that sort of thing, and saw all the YouTubers out there. So it was good fun. Good fun. I think.
Good.
How many subscribers does the accountant need to get to be invited next year to play? What do you reckon?
Oh, probably another few thousand.
Yeah, maybe 4, 5, 6 subscribers. Then we'll be there. We'll be there next season. So yeah, it was good. It was really good. But yeah, went down to London twice in the end. And I tell you what, I now have a new appreciation for my train service. So I've got the EMR Derby solution to London. I complain about it enough, right? You've heard me many times complain about how leagues above. Avanti West was because there was the like rail replacement buses and all that rubbish from Derby. So I was like, right, Avanti West it is. And yeah, leagues above. I sat there without a cup of tea, without a bottle of water, first class this, no food, no anything, and just sat there. Just sat there and waited for me to get off the train. That was it. That was my whole experience. So terrible. And what about your weekend? How was it?
I mean, don't tell me that. I've got Avanti West to Birmingham tomorrow.
Oh, it's terrible.
LNER don't do Birmingham. Oh, that's not
to be fair, maybe because you're on a longer one, and maybe because it's a weekday, not a weekend, maybe. But I use Seatfrog. You love Seatfrog, and I used it to upgrade from my cattle class to first class, thinking at least I'll get some breakfast or a nice cup of tea or guaranteed seat. The train was empty, so I didn't need it for the seat point of view, and I didn't get any of those amenities that I'm used to. So yeah, Seatfrog conduit.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, I had a good weekend. I did the traditional annual warm-up for the F1 season that kicks off next weekend by watching Drive to Survive. Binge watched that on Friday evening into Saturday morning. That was very good. I'm now ready for the F1 season to get going. And then watched the rugby. England did exceptionally well. Scotland did well, so the wife was happy. So yeah, a very chilled weekend, all in all. Very, very chilled.
Oh, Instagram as well, if you haven't remembered.
I'm live on Instagram. Don't you worry.
Welcome, Instagram. Welcome.
But yeah, brilliant. Right. Well, as per usual, we are only here because of our community. So let's say good morning and hello to everyone that's joining us. So we've got good morning to Cheryl, 8:30 on the dot. Cheryl, thank you very much for prompting us to stop looking at our hotel bookings for Fab and to actually do what we're here to do. Carl, good morning. Hope you're well. Good morning to
£18 for the breakfast. Just got to put it out there. That's what we learned.
I'm going to get 2 of those in Wetherspoons for the same price. Paul Whitehouse, good morning to you. Good morning to Stephanie. Actually on time, possibly first time ever. Every day is a day for first, Stephanie. Welcome.
I also have a signed copy of her book on my shelf now. A signed copy.
Ooh. I carry a Sharpie in my bag at all times now because I've got a book. No one's ever asked me to sign their book.
Steph's goes one step further. She has a little sticker that says signed. So you want the stickers and the Sharpie with you.
Oh. No,
so
what I need first is someone to ask me to sign
my book with me. I'll bring my book with me. You can sign my copy. I've got 2 copies now. I've got hard and a paperback. So, yeah.
Brilliant. Good morning to Dave.
got the sticker, right?
I haven't got a sticker, no. Good morning to Dave, who's back in the UK. Dave, welcome back from India. Hope you had a safe trip and pleasant trip from India. Good morning to Sam. Gloomy day over at Sam's, but he's looking forward to Fab. He will see us there. Yes, you will. It's not great here, if I'm honest. Saturday, gorgeous. Saturday, I was in the garden. Like, Saturday was wonderful.
Well, I was told it was going to rain, for Saturday, so I went all the way down to London in this nice big coat, woolly cloth. I was like, completely messed up that one.
Stephanie says, I think you should just move to London at this point, Aaron. I mean, it has been joked about many times that Aaron would be better off financially if he had a second home, you know, like all the members of parliament do. Just have a second home in London, it'd be cheaper. Kirsty says, morning all. Good morning, Kirsty. Marcus says, good morning, chaps. Good morning, Marcus. Dave says, thank you very much, Engager app, for telecasting of Engager Labs. I watched a few and still watch some more to watch. Yeah, so rephrase that. The majority of the sessions from the main stage have gone live on YouTube. For if you missed Engager Labs and you want to watch any of them back, we aren't releasing them all because you know what would be the incentive to turn up on the day if we did. But yeah, some of the sessions have gone live, and we got lots of nice feedback from that, saying once again we're doing something properly and unlike other shows, which is always nice to hear. Stephanie now says, actually, when are you moving to London, Aaron?
It's official now, is it?
Yeah, Stephanie's decided you're moving to London. Paul says, heading home from QuickBooks Get Connected, the tube between Bank and Waterloo broke down, so missed my train. Standing room only until Guildford as usual. All the joys.
I mean, we spent because I thought I hadn't got a hotel for that night, so we made the most of QuickBooks taking us out and wine and diners and all that sort of stuff. I say wine and diners. We went to pubs. Very late finish on that one. So
was there karaoke involved?
Train. No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't thingy, but yeah, I was
not that late at night for the QuickBooks lot then.
No, yeah. So yeah, very, very late night. So do I want to stand in on a train home and get to my own bed? Maybe I do. Yeah, maybe. Possible.
Speaking of QuickBooks, though, that is where you were at the start of the week. So talk us through it, Aaron. Talk us through QuickBooks Get Connected, and explain to me why I got absolutely zero excitement from reading the announcements.
Well, announcements are one thing. Being there in person is different, right? You get the opportunity to speak to people.
Yeah,
exactly. My first initial reaction is, I am so confused by their branding at this point in time. So I struggle. I am the QuickBooks chap, right? So I should know this inside out. But me and you've spoken enough time. We get so confused about it, right? Why it's connect and then get connected? Why they're so close to one another when they're supposed to be completely different expectations and everything else. So this was a get connected event, which typically means it's a regional step down. You know, get the data. Yeah, roadshow, get information in there, get out of there sort of thing. Not your ZeroCon-esque Connect, right? Like that. And forget me if I'm wrong, but we always used to pay for Connect back in the day, didn't we? It was always a ticketed event.
Before COVID, it was, yes.
Paid, but it was supposed to be a paid for event, right? And in the US, it definitely still is a paid for event. You have to pay to go for the Intuit Connect and all that sort of stuff. So it's online. So Connect's up here, online with ZeroCon. You get connected is more like you said, the roadshow, like Free Agent do a really good one, Sage do a really good ones, right? And they go around the country. So this is a get connected. This didn't feel like a get connected. Remember last year we were at the Arsenal something or other? Can't remember what it was called. We're down in Woolwich, weren't we? And it was
the Royal, where they nice old building, bit weird, bit spread out.
Ultimately, one room, wasn't it? One room and a few breakouts and all that. Completely. We've been to Tobacco Dock before, right? Many a time. Yeah. They basically used pretty much the whole of that top floor. Whole of the top floor, we had multiple rooms, multiple things, the whole exhibit hall, main stage room, very, very, very like grand compared to what we're used to. We've been to the road shows many a time. We've, infamously, we got our t-shirts, right? Of us going to literally every single one they did. And it was always one room, main stage in there, and a couple of breakout rooms. This, brilliant. There was like this whole exhibition hall. There was a whole area for the main stage. There was all these big breakout rooms that went through from there. So, like, from a size point of view, from a grand point of view, it felt closer, but it wasn't anywhere near, but closer to the Connect than it was to a Get Connected, right? So that was good. Started off with your typical like, let's get everyone hyped about what's coming soon and what's coming now and everything else. I mean, we might as well talk about it now, because the one thing I said about it, I was more shocked about what wasn't announced than what was. Like, we're privileged to information. I mean,
less of the we, the you're privileged.
But you've seen you've seen the roadmap. You know what's coming. Like, like long term sort of thing.
Right. It's over a year ago since I saw it, but if it's the same roadmap as then maybe that brings up more questions than answers.
That roadmap's going to be a year forward, right? That's all it's going to be. Like, they're going to add new things to it, but obviously, it's some of the stuff they were talking about in our roadmap was 3 years out, sort of thing, right? Like, that's how far ahead that they were kind of looking at from a roadmap point of view for, counting council and all that sort of aspect. This was very much, let's talk about the now, let's talk about what's available. And I think that's a big shift, a big shift. We talk about it a lot, that QuickBooks Connect in 2018, something like that, where they showed us that concept of his QuickBooks Assist, and it's going to, you're going to be able to talk to it. And then there was that yoga person who was talking to the accountant, and you remember that one? That was that whole concept of, was it, of this is what the future of QuickBooks is going to be. Very blue sky, very, this is what's going. And I've got a feeling they've learned their lesson on that, because it worked for us. We haven't stopped talking about it since, right? That video is ingrained in our brains, and we keep referring back to it. What if? When's that coming? How's that going to come in? And it gives us a false expectation of what the product is going to be, right? Like, we're sitting there thinking,
QuickBooks Bank.
Exactly, yeah. And we know what trouble QuickBooks Bank went in, and I think we both agree, like, we still would love that idea, like that concept. It doesn't have to be Quick, but whoever, someone can run that concept, amazing. But I think ultimately it hurts them, doesn't it? Because it sets such a high expectation, and their products, say here, and they expect they can't bridge that gap. I'll always come back to open banking. Open banking to me was that big, right? The way QuickBooks announced it was, right, there's going to be this real disruption to the way you're doing things. Like, you may have happily just connected banks the way that we've done it, by screen scraping, all that technology, and it may have worked for you and your clients, but now you've got to go down open banking. But don't worry, because open banking is going to give all of these benefits. So it's going to be a worthwhile going through this pain. It's going to be, all this authentication rubbish that we had to go through and all that sort of stuff, right? Here is the benefit. The benefit is bank statements will now be available via open banking. And that was one of the announcements, like 5 years ago, when open banking was announced, that QuickBooks ran with. It's like, look, here's your benefits. This is why open banking is a good thing. How many bank statements have you had through open banking yet? Do you know what I mean? Like, we're still waiting for that, right? So I feel like this is very much a case of, let's just tell you what's been announced and what is pretty much either available now, already available, or is in the next 3 months or so that's going to come through. And from my point of view, that takes it, because my favorite bit is the announcements, right? That's what I go for these events for. Like, what's new? Why? What can excite me for the rest of the year? Like, what's going to get me excited? And it was less of that, more of, right, here are these XYZ updates that came through. Some nice ones. They've emphasized the fact that, and I think they're right here, that CIS is there. From a CIS point of view, QuickBooks is probably the best in class at the moment in terms of delivering CIS and putting CIS forward if you've got CIS clients, and then putting enhancements to that. You mentioned it as well. They mentioned it was an add-on, so we're not 100% sure if that means a paid-for add-on or if it's a.
It'd be frustrating if it is, because let's face it, we've been able to lord it over Xero for a very long time. Of, oh, you want to file CIS? Well, that's going to cost you extra. So if QuickBooks go down that route, that'd be very frustrating.
Yeah. exactly. And I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think what that add-on means is it only included with the payroll functionality is included. I think that's what that means.
Okay.
If that's the case, fair enough, because whatever, that's just part and parcel of it, right? But if it is a separate add-on to that, I think you're right. That doesn't quite work. But the functionalities, I mean, Amy, Audit Amy, she was on QuickBooks Labs. She has loads of CIS clients. The last big CIS update was huge for her. This one's even bigger for her. So yeah, those sort of things are good. And then the rest of them, yeah.
But with no timeline.
No time. Oh no, that one I think is already in beta. There's a beta
Right.
out there, and it's just a case of getting involved in the bit, and then however long that beta lasts is however many problems people find, right? Yeah, and then they kind of like the announcements they brought up was like client ID coming into very, very small ones, like the big juicy stuff that we're privileged to know, like that's not being talked about still, other than they did finally give us a chance to talk about Intuit Assist. So that to me is the game changer bit. That's the bit I was expecting everyone to be talking about, because that's the bit that is.
I'll be honest, I was expecting an announcement of a date.
The beta's live, so that's what's come through. So the beta is there. You can sign up now, get yourself on the beta, go through all that, and go through from there. The nice bit for me was that Nick did shout out that I was running the Intuit Assist breakout room, which was great to hear, apart from the fact that meant the place was oversubscribed and people were being turned away at the door. So you got to decide, is it good or bad? I don't know. Like when people literally, I've got photos of people being refused entry into it, was a bit crazy. But look, I got the opportunity to finally talk about, like, some of those NDAs have been lifted. I can finally talk about Intuit Assist. I can finally get excited. And
so what they really needed to do was give you like a big stage, like maybe 850 capacity.
Basically, you're thinking what Labs did, right? But yeah, no, it was still it gave me an opportunity to finally talk about. I've been literally zip tied to not being able to talk about it, so that was good. And gave me a good opportunity to kind of go through from there. I ran QuickBooks tips and tricks all day as well, so that was good fun. And most of the people interested talking to me was, what do I do now tags isn't there, which was a very surprising for me to, because like I've been that guy, but I've been the guy that's been advocate for, we need, tags is going, there's a big problem here, and always been told, don't worry about it, it's such a small percentage of people use it, it'll be fine, it will just like.
Problem is that small percentage that use it are your power users.
Yeah, who are all that get connected. Every single one of them. So it is what it is, isn't it? But yeah, that's literally kind of the big turning point, or big point for me for running on that QuickBooks tips and tricks stand was all about there. So, but it was nice to see everyone. It was a good atmosphere. Everyone seemed really positive about it all. Again, I don't know. It's a fine line, isn't it, between this announcement? Is it a change in the industry now that do we only talk about the now? Do we stop the idea of talking about stuff that we can't deliver in?
I think if you're doing an annual event, you need to talk about the year ahead,
the 12 months.
But you need to have confidence that you can deliver what you're talking about.
But that's sometimes out of your control, right? Because MTD, that's no one's control. Yeah, that's whatever happens there.
But there's a lot of things that are in their control.
I don't know. I just feel like, and maybe this is why, because we did it to Xerocon, right? And we said to him, oh, they hardly announced anything. But they admit themselves that their product is now just refinement, isn't it? Refinement, which is actually, as a user, exactly what you want to hear. Let's give those easy wins and go through from there. Although, listen to last week's episode, and that's not what happened. But anyway, they went backwards. But I highly respect them for that refinement. So you don't expect these big marquee announcements, right?
Yeah.
I just wonder if the industries now we don't do, because it used to be a fact. Like when we first started Ask the Accountant, we were going to Accountex going, right, what's the big announcements for everyone? Because that was the year where Pixie announced AI and Carbon announced AI, and it was all about the announcements, wasn't it? That's what we were going for. It's right, what big announcements everyone going to have for Accountex? I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong here, but do we even get told about the announcements anymore? Is it now a world where we even worry about announcements? It's like they just have their opportunity to announce at these sort of events, but even then they're not going big on announcements. It almost feels like,
I suppose it's down to your confidence in your development team.
Yeah,
because ultimately, like, we made announcements, and we're confident all of those will be delivered in the next 12 months, along with a lot more. But they were the major features, and we're already making good progress on all of those. So. But then we're confident in our development team that when they say they're going to do something, they'll do it. And all right, some things might get stalled and delayed because of external factors like HMRC, for example, not knowing what their own API can do. But, in that regard, like, this is why Engager only does so many partnerships at a time, because us building something for ourselves really a lot easier than trying to do an API and building into someone else. So we limit the frequency we do the builds into other softwares because they're a lot more complex and time consuming. But just confidence in your own development team, managing expectations and stuff. You can still do it in a way that makes people excited for what you're bringing up in the future. And I wonder now if some of these big software companies have got so bloated and slow with their own development, and they've been burnt so many times by either missed deadlines, or they've hit the deadline, but what they've done to hit the deadline is release an inferior product, that they kind of just go, let's not commit to anything which could cause us any bad PR.
Yeah, I mean, we said when the last proper QuickBooks Connect happened, we said from a messaging point of view, couldn't have been any better, right? Like literally, here's a bureau payroll solution that can connect to everything. Here's a practice management tool that will help you deliver. Here's your accounts production tool, blah, blah, blah. From a messaging point of view, smashed it, right? I think you're right.
Do you use any of them?
None of them have delivered yet, right? And we're 2 years out. Is it two? Was it? Well, I think it was a February one, wasn't it?
Yep.
So we're 2 years out. I would say, I think the bureau payroll's probably calmed down now, and it's probably where it's supposed to be, but was burnt because it was released in a manner that wasn't acceptable for the community, right? And they'll be happy to say that. But I feel like when that buzz, that excitement for new features, that drive for let's show you the shiny seems to have died down, and it is because they've been burnt in the past. And I think every vendor other than Engager, every vendor's got that same approach, right? Like let's be quiet about our new announcements.
To be fair, like Sage made Copilot announcements at Accountex not last year, the year before.
That is true.
And they, for the most part, it smashed it. Like Sage users.
But who has generally like jumped ship because of that? Because that's what the announcements are designed to do, aren't they?
It is, but it got heads turning. People looked at Sage all of a sudden in a very modern. These guys are actually ahead of the game, which is, let's be honest, the first time in years. Even you and I turned around and went, actually, they're ahead of the crowd right now.
Agreed. Yeah,
because they didn't just make an announcement; they actually had a beta that went out that day.
Yeah. But it's not in the whole ecosystem yet, right? And I think that'll be the game changer for them, won't it?
So yeah, but I still think they did a very good job at that. So I think announcements are being made. It's interesting.
I just feel like Jax should have been bigger than what it is, right? Like it's been released and it's just fizzled out already. Like people aren't excited about it. But it should be. People should be. Like they should have released it with this wow factor. Every person I spoke to who came to my talk was interested into it. It's like they get what there's wow factor there. There's excitement there. So why was that not on the main stage? Like what? Like yeah, okay, it's now a controlled environment, so we can control the expectations. We can set the scene. We've got more time to talk about it and flesh it out and show it and all that sort of stuff. I get there has to be a control element, so you're not misinforming, but that should be that every post that happened with Get Connected
They
should
probably
have been
didn't put it on.
sanitized.
They probably didn't put that on the main stage for the very reason that they announced it too early. Like they announced it 2 years ago when we did our roadshow tour with them. That was the talk. That was the announcement, and they still haven't delivered. Like, all right, they've got the beta now, but they've not got any definitive timeline after launching the beta. So maybe that's why they've gone. We announced that too early. We won't hype that up on the main stage today because we don't want to get that same grief that people like Johann give us for not actually delivering.
True. Because how many times do you want to listen to MTD being mentioned again and again? It gets fatigued, doesn't it? It's that, isn't it?
Right, let's go through our comments and see what they are saying about this. Juliet says, good morning. Good morning, Juliet. Stephanie says, Johann, you missed the Glambot and pancakes. Afraid that was my highlight. That is, I'd argue that's more scathing for QuickBooks than you realize, because this was Stephanie's first QuickBooks Get Connected event. If the highlight for her was pancakes and a Glambot, QuickBooks really haven't converted her or convinced her that QuickBooks is the right solution for her and her clients instead of Xero. Like, which is what those events are for, right? Like, they're to reinforce that QuickBooks is the right choice going forwards for the QuickBooks users, but also to convince non-QuickBooks users that they should pay more attention and look at this product further in the future.
Yeah.
And if pancakes and a Glambot's the best they could do.
But sometimes that is tricky, right? Like that is a really different, apparently. But yeah, so that's a really difficult one to measure, right? So I wonder if it's a marketing 101, isn't it? Like sometimes you've just got to put the pomp out there just to get people talking about the event and have an opportunity. Like, let's be like, Engager. A lot of people talking about the fact that amazing singer at the beginning, like that was there throughout the day. That's what people go away from that. Oh, it was a really good environment. There was a really cool vibe. Some of the classics they came out with, that's some of the conversations I was listening to. Yeah, we've got like some of the best vendors in the industry sat there telling you, like, giving away all this information. What some great speakers giving away this amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes it's those little activations, they call them, don't they? Those little activations that stick in your mind, and it's
but there's a difference between a singer making the day even better and pancakes being the highlight of the day.
But now every time that Pancake Day comes around, all Steph's going to think of is how great QuickBooks is. Every single Pancake Day.
One time I was in London, I had QuickBooks paid for my pancakes.
That's it. Annual.
Cheryl says QuickBooks payroll is atrocious. Moved 2 CIS clients to QuickBooks for payroll and the CIS, but I'm moving them back to MoneySoft in April.
I mean, we shouldn't even be asking this question because this is where it gets absurd. Were you on QuickBooks Core or were you on QuickBooks Advanced Payroll? Like that. Just having to ask that question makes it like confusing enough, right? And you have such a completely different experience depending on which version you're on.
Definitely. Tim with a C is here from Guernsey. He's late, but he's got news on the Guernsey squirrel. Tim, update us. Tell us in the comments, what is the update on the Guernsey squirrel? For those that aren't aware, Guernsey don't have squirrels. So when a squirrel appears in Guernsey, there's a big manhunt or squirrel hunt to track them down and evict them from the island.
I'll let Tim drop the news, but if he doesn't, I do have the answer.
You've got the update. Okay.
I have the update, but let Tim have the highlight for it.
Brilliant. Siddharth says, good. Hi guys, thanks for this. Love it. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. Paul says, I will miss tags. I have so many use cases that classes don't replace very well. Completely agree.
And classes ain't the answer either because classes not involved.
Tags was one of those announcements that I got genuinely excited about at a QuickBooks event. Like I thought, this.
Wait. You rewriting history here. The one problem with tags was it was never announced at a QuickBooks event. It just shadow dropped. That was the problem with tags.
They've announced it at some point, haven't they? Because I'm sure I've seen the
They
demo.
spoke about
on stage.
tags is in this product and
Right.
stuff, but this is where I feel like tags never got its due. They shadow dropped it on us. Oh, by the way, there's a new feature called tags.
Okay, maybe I've. But I
Because
don't think I'd seen it then. I think I saw it at a QuickBooks event when they were talking about it.
Yeah, but the problem was when it got first announced, there was confusion. Right, what do we use these tags for? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, that's what the problem was with the initial announcement. I think that's what ultimately sealed its fate, because no one really knew what it was for.
Yeah. Paul says maybe the silence on announcements is the calm before the upcoming MTD It storm.
But is there any announcement for MTD It really, other than yes, we can file for you?
They've been banging on about what they're doing for the last 3 years. They're going to allow us to file. I mean, it's what all softwares are doing.
Every vendor, yeah, exactly. There's no announcement there, is there? Yes, we can file. Look,
that's not to be excited about. That's oh, good, well done. You're doing your job in making sure I can file in line with the law. Thank you. Because let's face it, the bigger announcement is them saying we're not going to support MTD It, and they lose all their customers. Like, that's the big announcement.
Yeah.
The AI hype, as Nick mentioned, that QuickBooks Get Connected is clearly a multiple-year development process. It is, but I still think they are slower off the mark here. Like, QuickBooks in the accounting industry is, in my world, the equivalent of Apple in the mobile phone industry in AI. They are so far behind.
Whoa. You've spoken some rubbish. What do you mean so far behind?
But they've just delayed the good stuff that we're meant to be getting now.
The AI stuff, yes.
The AI stuff.
Yeah. I thought you meant as a mobile phone. I was like, Jesus.
No. Just the AI bit. But because like Apple have promised back in June, when you and I were sat in that hotel room in Edinburgh watching the Apple announcement, they promised us all this stuff. And
you cancelled how many subscriptions that day?
And they're all back. But yeah, like QuickBooks announced it like 2 years ago. We're going to do this. And you know what? I'm so bored of waiting. I don't care anymore.
You've lost interest, haven't you? Yeah. I know. But the problem is, if you don't announce it, then you're shown as behind, aren't you? Which is why, and we still pull them up on it. Like,
which is where Sage played a blinder, because they didn't just announce it; they launched a beta at the time.
They did,
and that just forced Xero and QuickBooks to go, we're going to have to fire the guns. We're going to have to go.
And Intuit, they didn't change. They have, rightly or wrongly, this is they're not changed for anyone, right? They are.
They were due to announce it, were they?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
even though it was 2 years away.
They've never, wrongly to make it last that long, but they've never like changed course. This is their course. They've stuck to their course and everything else. The Jax one was let's do a knee-jerk reaction, and then they got the messaging wrong, right? Like completely wrong. That's what happened there. I still don't. The thing I've got is, and I'm keeping an eye on all of them, I'm yet to find one that's kind of I don't feel like we're doing apples to apples at the moment. Like, I feel like Intuit Assist is one version of AI, which is, let's call it an apple, and everyone else is a different type of fruit, because none of them are doing anything near what Intuit Assist wants to do with it. And maybe it is because they're keeping it behind closed doors. They're not talking about it. They don't want.
Is that because the others want to get there, but they haven't announced that yet because they know they're so far away from it?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But Intuit Assist is imminent, right? Like, if the beta's around, it's only going to take so long for that to go, and it's already out in America, so you could have a license now and have the whole of Intuit Assist with all the bells and whistles that are there. I just, I don't know. It just feels like at the moment we're comparing apples to pears, and I don't quite understand.
I mean, at the moment, I'm comparing a theory to a product that's actually practical and available. Like, you can't compare QuickBooks and Sage, because QuickBooks is theory, Sage is in practice.
You can't call it theory when it's actually available in America. It's available
in theory in the UK,
but it's going to be the same functionality. That's a guarantee. It's just they've got to make it work in the UK, right? They've got to make sure VAT is going to comply and all that sort of stuff, right?
Agree to disagree on this one, as per usual. I think when it comes to AI.
I just honestly, this is apples versus pears, and that's the scary thing for me, because I just don't see, like, you can't be left behind in this race.
QuickBooks need to stop talking about having apples and actually put the apples on the market stall so we can buy them.
But also, you can't be left behind on this race. Like, this is the next cloud accounting, right? Race. You can't be left behind.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, as a practice, we won't be able to be. Yeah, we need this technology. We need this functionality, like, for us to deliver on our promise to helping our clients. Like, this is the sort of functionality we need. So everyone needs to be like, this has to be an arms race, and everyone needs to be at the front of that battle, fighting it, right? And at the moment, it seemed like just QuickBooks have turned up to the race, or Intuit turned up to the race. That's what worries me.
I would argue Sage's horse is already on the track. Xero left the stalls 2 weeks ago, and QuickBooks hasn't even got the horse to the stall yet because it's still talking about putting it in the stall in the UK.
Because they're running a horse race and we're doing a Formula One race in Intuit. That's why. The horse can go as far and as long as they want.
What you're waiting for is the engine to be invented, right?
but it's you know, you can go on a horse for as long as you want. You ride your horse to London next time, right? See how it goes, right? If I jump in an F1 car, doesn't matter how long it is.
Your engine's not been invented for the F1 car. You've got to wait for that first.
It has. It's just in a different territory. I've got to wait for it to be delivered.
It over.
So if anything, it's Trump and his tariffs that are holding me back.
And on that political note, let's move on. Right, in other news, Free Agent have news. They've announced a new partnership with Mimo. Mimo, also known as Money In, Money Out, is
great name. Great name. When you figure it out, because we didn't at first, right?
No, we had to be told. We had to be informed. But yeah, Free Agent have announced that they are doing a integration into Mimo, so offer yet another payments platform and bills payable platform for the Free Agent users, which is great news. Variety is key. We don't like softwares that tell us you will use a certain software and a certain payment solution, and that is it.
What is there? What options have they got now? There's Mimo.
So they've now got Mimo, Stripe, Go Cardless, and I think PayPal as well. So
okay, cool.
They've gone. It's like Xero. They've gone about it and given. Ultimately, they've left it up to the firm owner, like which one they want to use, or the business which one they want to use, rather than forcing us to use PayPal at an extortionate rate. But that's just another one of my many gripes.
And what Free Agent are doing, because obviously we talk about it a lot, don't we? There's this two-prong attack here. You can either make yourself a SDK and an app store and open the floodgates and let them build what they want. But Free Agent definitely have gone down the route of, right, whatever partners we choose with, we're choosing these partners for this particular reason. They're bringing X, Y, Z to the table.
Quality checks, etc. Yeah.
And it almost, like, I said this a lot at Engage Labs to a lot of people. Like, every vendor in that room has had a stamp and approval from you guys, right? There's a reason they're there, right? We can go to big events and we can be wowed by so much choice, but sometimes that causes issues, right? We just want X, Y, Z. We want this pain point resolved. And you go to a room or you go to an app store like Free Agent, and it's like, right, these are ones that, here's ones we can trust in. Here's ones that's got the quality approval. Yeah. Stamp. And I think that definitely helps, doesn't it? And it makes it easier for everyone to kind of get on that same level playing field. And I think sometimes we get like Xero versus QuickBooks, we'll fight it till the death. But ultimately, if we're all on the same platform, it would be so much easier for us, all right? Because it will just be clear cut.
Yeah, definitely. So that's exciting news from Free Agent. What I think is more interesting is the amount of announcements they've had in the last year, 18 months. The amount of partnerships they've had tells you how much influence Free Agent's getting. Like the fact that software partners want to be integrated into Free Agent, whereas it was always an afterthought, if a thought at all originally. But in the last 18 months, they've really started becoming very much a bigger player in the space, and softwares are taking note of that, which is great for them. Aaron has explained to me why none of my email accounts were were working last Monday when I opened my phone. I had to re-log into everything. Turns out Microsoft had a major outage last Monday. Aaron, talk me through it.
Yeah, so 11:30 on Saturday is when I encountered it, and at first I just thought my phone was having an absolute mare. Literally, I couldn't use it. It was going bright hot, red hot, because it kept having to try and re-sign into all these accounts. I don't know about you, but I have so many email accounts connected to my phone that when all of them go at the same time, I can't literally authenticate one of them because I'm being told that the other one needs authenticated.
Yep.
And what it was an outage that caused the authentication to drop and everything else, and you had to go reauthorize and all this sort of stuff. But what we definitely found as a problem with this was it's not just my my mobile phone and having access there. It's every device that I've got that connects to Outlook that had outage. And the big problem for me was my CRM solutions and all them sort of stuff went out as well. So we literally have a period of time where clients couldn't get in contact with us. Like there was literally a period where it was completely and utterly gone. So yeah, my public service announcement to everyone is go check your CRM solutions. Just make sure, because sometimes you don't get told, right? Sometimes it's just the connection fails and it just carries on. So yeah, we go and have a look, make sure they're still bringing that information. You might log in on Monday today and go, well, it was a quiet weekend. Normally we have much more interactions during the weekend.
Wave of 100 plus emails.
Exactly. So yeah, go and have a connection, go and have a look, go test, go kick the tires, whatever you need to do. But yeah, currently there was a big outage, and yeah, it's not good, and it just shows how much reliance we have on Google.
You also forget how many devices you've got it all linked to, because I had to do my iPad, my laptop, my Mac Mini, my phone, my iPad Mini, like everything. It's like, oh my god, I'm so bored of re-entering the same password.
I know. And you would have thought by now, like, Apple are much better at it, but you would have thought they'd absolutely nail let's stick your password in one place and just let it authenticate everywhere. Like that should just be done, one and done, right?
Yeah, they like to ensure you're still the same person using the same device.
But it sometimes doesn't even recognize that I'm putting the password in, and then I've got to go to the password app to find the password and copy and paste and all that sort of stuff. I know it's better than it's ever been before, but it's still that needs to be fixed, right? That needs to be let's centrally log in one place and just let every device that you're authenticated with, like do a Face ID or something, but then just filter it down.
Do you want us to apply this to all your devices?
Exactly. That's what we need. But if they can't even get Intuit Assist out, then what's the hope of anything else coming out anytime soon?
I didn't know Apple were getting Intuit Assist out.
Sorry.
But they were updating
Siri Advance, is it? What are they calling it? What's the Siri 2.0? I don't know.
Just Siri, I believe.
And apologies for everyone that's now had the devices.
I've had to whisper that so none of my devices kick off. But yeah, so Susanna in the comments says, "Oh, I didn't know about the Microsoft outage, but I had that issue with emails as well." There we go. When we find out there's something wrong, we'll always do a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Right.
We can all share the pain. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one whose phone literally set fire to itself.
Well, speaking of things nearly setting fire, woke up yesterday morning to a very hot finger. My Ultra Human ring had decided that its battery was going to implode whilst being worn.
Oh wow!
So I took the ring off, which was a bit of a squeeze to get it off because it now got this huge bulge on the inside. Then went to put it on the charger, and I realised why nothing was working. But to be fair to Ultra Human, I dropped them a chat on their app. There's one in the post already.
Fair play.
Take a photo for us. Oh yeah, that's not good. We'll send you a new one. Like no questions. You know how some people can get a bit weird at customer service. Like, oh wow, what were you doing? Like, how have you broken it? This must be your fault. There was none of that. Can you just send us a picture? Yeah, right. Just bin it. We're not going to ask you to send it back. We'll send you a new one. Like quick, simple, easy. If only all customer success was that easy.
Did you have to answer how many fingers you still have?
Thankfully, none of my fingers got blown off.
Any fingers severed during this event?
No. No, otherwise I think there might be a claim.
I was confused though because I saw what our next topic was. I was like, where's he going with this one? This is a segue and a half. Speaking of hot fingers.
Speaking of hot topics,
oh,
tomorrow we are all travelling, ready for Wednesday and Thursday. We've got Fab
left of the
Festival
week.
Accounting and Bookkeeping.
I'm not travelling tomorrow. Go on, carry on.
Oh, well, I'm travelling tomorrow. So yeah, this week is the week of Festival Accounting and Bookkeeping, the Accounting Web's show over in the NEC in Birmingham. It was a fantastic event last year, and I am looking forward to this one once again. I'm going to be there both days on the Engager stand. No speaking slots, no podcasting, etc. for me. I am just there to do the Engager stand. I'm very excited about just having 2 days on the Engager stand. I'm hoping the message is getting across to you, Aaron, that you're on your own for podcasting.
Well, not according to the the Fab program. We're over the event, me and you. Both
not
days.
Sure how. That wasn't discussed, but okay. But yeah, so I'm going to be there. Engager's going to be there. Our Engager stand's moved from where we were originally to the other side of the room now. However, we're like in amongst a community of friends now. So Xenon are there, Free Agent are there, Adfin are there. Like we've got just a nice little community of our fellow partnerships that in one corner, which is really nice. And then you're going to be there for both days, Aaron. Tell us what you are up to.
So we're running Studio Fab, which has some really good options going through there. So the idea there is all of the podcasting or podcasters, should I say, from the industry are being invited to Studio Fab. And the idea would be that we've given them the opportunity to talk about whatever topic they want to bring to the show. We're looking to have pod offs and all that sort of thing. So very, very different to what we normally do, where we're inviting guests on and interviewing. This will be very much a case of let's get some evergreen content from the podcast community. We're providing the gear and the equipment. So I got very jealous when you posted that you've already packed. I spent most of Sunday packing, and I think I'm a third of the way there. So the fact that you were able just to go packed made me very jealous. But yes, we'll be delivering the Ask the Accountant in some form or another. I haven't actually thought about content yet. That's last on my mind. Let's make sure I can record the content first, and then let's figure out the content. But if anyone is
walk together, won't we, on the first day?
We're doing grid walk. But I am going to put an announcement out there. If anyone from our community wants to come on to the Ask the Accountant show and talk about anything to do with the world of the thing, then we have a slot that we need to fill. So let's bring some ideas along. Let's conversation topics that you want to talk about. We want to get through there. If you're at Fab, drop me a message and we will look to get you on the studio, which will be good fun for everyone, I think. But yeah, we're doing the grid walk. We've got some other exciting stuff I don't think I'm allowed to talk about actually, so I'll keep that stum. But we're helping the Accounting Web team deliver some content, so that'll be good fun. Yeah, I think definitely a different event. And what I like about this is our Pit Stop podcasts, we are keeping that for Accountex North, labs, because why not? Like, it makes sense for labs, right? It, like, you know, it's a frenemy sort of idea there. But I think the fact that we're leaving it for those events, they're our podcast Pit Stop events, and that means we can do something a bit new. And I think helping the Fab team run studio, I think that's going to be good fun. I think there's a different vibe to it, and we've seen the stand. The stand looks absolutely amazing.
And I really like the fact that we've we've 123 episodes into this. The last couple of years, we've done a lot of recordings and podcasts and videos from events, and the fact that you're now being asked to facilitate this event, this space, with your technical know-how, etc. The fact that you were brought into the Digitals for an Accrual Worlds and Awards evening and asked to facilitate that live streaming and stuff like that. I think that pays testament to the knowledge and skill set you've gained over the last couple of years in doing everything that we do. So it's nice to be seen as the go-to facilitator for these things.
Yeah, because we made mistakes, right? And we've done it, and we've learned. Like, we made mistakes, haven't we? But yeah, I think, and this just gives an opportunity as well to see how the others are podcasting. Like, well, we can learn off them, right? Like, what topics are they bringing to the show? You know, how are they getting it all set up? How are they bringing things in? So I think it'll be good.
We've watched episodes back from like the ICB. There was a couple of different podcasts filmed there, and we've gone, they didn't use the audio focus feature on that tool, and like, because you can hear all the background and stuff. It's like stuff that we go, actually, we can help them make this better. We can help them enhance this and make it a whole better experience for everybody, including the listeners and watchers. So yeah, I'm excited for you. I think you're gonna have a great 2 days running the studio, and it just shows that all that time and effort of learning all this stuff's paying off.
Definitely, and we actually get to flex some of the equipment we don't normally get to use, like that multi-video streamer tool that we've got, and we have it and it's there, but now we've got it set up so all 4 feeds go into it, so that whoever's producing it can have the audio one side, the video the other, have it all set up all nicely. So it'll be cool. And I took the feedback on board from your team that I didn't have enough cameras, so we've got one of them out of the cupboard to bring along. So yeah, you need 5, right? 5's the ultimate number.
Yes, Aaron, we need 5 cameras.
Thank you. That's all I need. I just need confirmation that I've got it right.
I mean, I can't understand why you're not using 7, but
technically I do.
Not every angle needs to be covered.
Technically, there's also one on the producer, so that's 6, and you'll have a roaming camera. So there is 7 available cameras for you. So I
nailed it.
There, done. Job done.
That would be good though. So there'll be content going out over the 2 days onto YouTube and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. We'll be. It won't be the same as other events where we have like a whole string of events. But I mean, look, the most important one for us to get out there is that grid walk, isn't it? We want to get that out as soon as possible. And looking at the map, I think there'll be some exciting and tasty bits to talk about. Although, did I not see the like VIP section this time? Is that there? I can't remember.
I don't think I saw that.
No, I did.
No, yeah. I think that's gone this year.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? But yeah, we can have that there. So that's why the grid walk so cool, right? You get to look at it from year on year, see what enhancements, what differences they've made, see what they've done from there. And we got feedback from the Fab team. They actually use it internally to train their team to go, right, here is what Fab looks like. This is what this is what the experience is like.
This is a visitor's perspective, as it were.
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good fun to see that live and go through from there. What about from an engager point of view? Have you got any excitement to share? Is it have you got any swag or anything? Are you bringing the stickers?
No, as you know, we don't like overdoing it on swag. So we've got some stickers. We've got some plant pots, etc. However, we will just be there talking to both current and potential new users, showing them the platforms. If you've not seen our loading bar update to the Kanban yet, that will be in product in the demo product where we're there, so we can show you that. We can also show you what the MTD, VAT, and 648 solutions are going to look like and how you use them. Nice. We explained it all last week and Wednesday evening on my weekly live, but we'll be able to touch on that. And we're still waiting for the codes to arrive to clients through the post from HMRC. But the moment that's done, we're ready to go live with it. So yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Myself, Marcus, Andy, T, and Katie will be there for both days. So come over and say hello to us, and we'll have a chat. It'll be I'm looking forward to it.
Got a big commute. Then is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, Marcus is. We've even gave him a hotel room. He only lives 5 minutes down the road.
Are you expecting a messy night? Is that what it is? Is that how this is going to
No,
work?
but we want him there, alert and fresh, first thing in the morning. We don't want any traffic jam rubbish coming up as an excuse.
You do take one of my biggest problems about getting on this Avanti West train and having to go from there. I got caught in the Crufts traffic, so we queued for Crufts to not go to Crufts.
That's
So I've been to the NEC once this weekend, so I made sure it was still standing for everyone, so everyone can be fully aware. It's still standing, everything's there. So good for that. Our big pro tip though is try and book some food options beforehand, because last time we had a nightmare, didn't we?
Yeah,
trying to eat at that place, but yeah, I'm sure Fab will have something there. Have they got their after party this year?
I believe so. I'd be surprised if they didn't have an after party.
Yeah.
They had a really good band, didn't they? In the place itself. So yeah,
that festival vibe and having that area there, and it was really good.
It was really
so
good.
Fingers crossed. It's more the same.
Stephanie says she's not been asked to be part of the podcast. Fab stage.
Pod. Well, don't shoot the message. I like, honestly, this has been let's put interestingly organized. Let's leave it at that. We don't want to go any further than that. But we've got Grace Hardy there, we've got Digital Tools in a Cruel World, we've got Six Figure Bookkeepers, we've got Accountant She, we've got Ask the Accountant. Have I missed any? I think that's the ones that are there. Yeah.
Nice.
That'll be good. It'll be good.
Nice.
And we're doing pod offs as well, so that'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Like battles. Let's come out that. We want to come away from there bloody nosed, showcasing what it is,
Meanwhile, I'll just be flogging Engager in the corner.
As Ask the Accountant loses every single one.
Yeah. What's happening? Johan's not here. Quick wits.
Grace Hardy punching me on the stage.
And Sue Green says, I will see you at Fab. Lovely.
Amazing. See you,
Sue. Good to see you.
Yeah. There's a lot of ICB members there, isn't there?
I believe so. Yeah. Like the Fab did really well last year with the bookkeeper community.
Yeah.
As well as the accountant community. But there was a real focus on the bookkeepers community, and I think that then triggered other shows to be a bit more, to center their thoughts around how do we get the bookkeeping community involved more. So that was a really positive step for the industry there.
Because Amy's even doing a bookkeeper's welcome reception, which I think is a great idea, right?
Yeah.
She does it on the Wednesday, and then Zoe and Joe do it on the Thursday, isn't it? The second day.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's great, isn't it? Like you're encouraging your community to all come together in one space before you go off and do the rest of the thing. And it just, you can like tag on to people then, can't you? And you can have a group
of you go around, explore, discuss what you're seeing and hearing from speakers and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be a good 2 days.
There's one feedback I had from my team when I sent them to Accountex. They just felt like they were struggling to figure out what to do and when to do it and all that sort of stuff. Where they came to Engager and it was nicely laid out for them, and they just went around the show floor and job done. And
like Engager, because there was only one main agenda, it was a lot easier for everybody. Whereas
the first
at these
time
events, there's so much going on, you have to plan ahead. Even if you're planning on the train to the NEC on the day, plan ahead. Otherwise, you're going to get there, you're going to feel completely overwhelmed, completely lost, and just it's not worth it for the sake of spending half an hour on the train or half an hour the night before going, right, which speakers do I want to go and see? Which exhibitors do I want to go and see? And planning your day. Like, it's when you go to the zoo, you don't just turn up at the zoo. You go onto the website and see where are the animals, and I want to go and see these ones and plan that all out. Like, it's a very similar concept for Fab and Accountex.
Very similar. So we compare it to a zoo, are we?
Yeah, and you walk past and go, look at the gibbons in the Engager enclosure.
Oh, there's another fight on the studio stage. Yeah.
Brilliant. Right, well, that brings us up to 9:30. Dave says he's going to have FOMO because he's not going to.
Oh, Dave, you're not there.
But no, maybe this time next year, Dave. Although I imagine you've got a bit of work to catch up with after 5 weeks in India. But yeah, wonderful. So, guys, thank you very much for all your comments throughout the show. As always, keeping us true and giving us different points of conversation to be had. We will be looking forward to seeing you all over Wednesday and Thursday if you're at Fab. If not, of course, you will be able to join us all here this time next week to get our feedback on Fab, and we'll let you know all the gossip and how it went. So,
We certainly will.
Aaron, are you ready to press the button?
I am. I forget. It's actually this one button now. I don't know why I get so thingy now. They've actually made it easy for us, but yeah, such is life.
Brilliant. Well, that's goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me. See you next week. Bye.
See you next week, folks.
Oh, and reach out to us at Fab to say hi.